Once upon a time, in the snowy wooden town of Røros, where the golden winter sunlight touched every rooftop, there lived a poor beggar whom everyone knew but few truly saw. Every morning, he walked through the narrow streets with his old cane, greeting people with a kind smile. Some people ignored him, while others gave him something to eat. But no matter how people treated him, he always believed that kindness was like the sun. It could melt even the coldest hearts. His name was written nowhere, but the children called him Uncle Blue because of his thick blue coat and knitted hat. The children always loved him, and he loved them too. He owned very little, just a small hut at the edge of the town. But inside his heart, there was a warmth greater than any fire could give. Whenever he had a little money, he went straight to the bakery to buy bread. One evening, dark clouds covered the sky and a strong wind began to blow. Soon, the rain turned into a terrible storm. Roofs fell, and the small town was filled with thunder and fear. But the beggar did not run away. He wrapped himself in his coat and walked toward the cries for help coming from the night. He found a family standing helpless in the rain with 2 small children. "Come with me," he said softly. "My hut is small, but it is warm." He took them to his little house, still standing with hope. The beggar gave them his only blanket and shared his last piece of bread. "The night will pass, and the light will return," he said with a gentle smile. The family burst into tears, amazed by such kindness from someone who had so little. Outside, the storm raged for hours. The children fell asleep, and the beggar prayed that everyone in the town would be safe. In the morning, the storm had ended, but the streets were full of broken houses. The beggar went outside and saw the sad faces of the people. Without thinking, he said, "We can rebuild together." His voice was tired, but the hope inside him was enough to lift the whole town. The beggar carried wooden boards even though his legs were shaking, and he taught the children how to hammer nails. Days turned into weeks, and the town found its light again. Everyone gathered around the beggar. "You gave us strength when we lost hope," they said. The beggar smiled and said, "It was not my hands but your hearts that built this town." From that day on, no one called him a beggar. Everyone called him the kind man of the town. Every morning, children ran to him shouting, "Uncle Blue," and hugged him. The townspeople brought him baskets of bread, fruit, and flowers, saying, "You will never be hungry again." Years passed, and the man grew old. His beard turned white as snow. He spent his days sitting in front of his house. One winter night, he lay down in his bed, smiled, and closed his eyes forever. The next morning, people filled the streets, placing their hands on their hearts and crying in silence. They placed flowers under his window and whispered, "Thank you for teaching us love." A few weeks later, they built a statue in the middle of the town. A bronze statue with open arms and a warm smile. It looked just like him, ready to hug the whole world.
I Rørosby der snøen faller, smil. Alle barna vinker til ham. Han god og stille og snill. Onkel Blå, du gjør hjertene våre små så glade. Onkel Blå, du gir varme på en vinterdag. En kveld blåste vinden sterkt. Barn sto fast i mørkeste natt. Onkel Blå sa, kom nå med meg. Mitt lille hus varmt og glatt. Onkel Blå, du gjør hjertene våre små så glade. Onkel Blå, du gir varme på en vinterdag. Når snøen daler år etter år, står statuen hans midt i vår by. Barna synger takk, kjære venn. Du lærte oss